What's going on, guys? Black Scout Survival. I thought I would cover a subject I covered a lot in the past, but I think it's probably one of the most important things we can talk about. It's the most important thing we can implement day to day for our survivability, for being prepared. I always say stay frosty, strapped, and dangerous. And staying frosty means being aware of your surroundings, being aware of the situation, gaining intel, what's going on in the world around you, as well as staying calm. And what we're talking about today is situational awareness. You know, a lot of times people spend so much of their time practicing hard skills, but we need to focus a lot more on our mindset as well as soft skills. And situational awareness is somewhat of a mindset that you develop and utilize every day. And I'm going to tell a story I've told many times, but when I was a young Marine, I was driving back to Camp Lejeune after a 96 or something like that, holiday, and it was late at night. I was tired. This is when Red Bull was the only energy drink that existed, and I wanted to stop at a gas station in the middle of nowhere to grab an energy drink because I was getting tired. And I pull in this gas station. I noticed a few guys on the side of the building, and they were like hovering around the license plate of the vehicle. Didn't really know what they were doing, didn't pay much attention. I go in to the store, go to the back where the drinks are, and within 20 seconds, these guys bust in the store, mask on, robbing the place, right? And it's only me and the store owner there, and he said, you know, just take whatever you want, blah, 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 blah. And they get their stuff and leave. I kind of duck down behind a partition and they leave. And as I run to the front as they go out, I notice it's the same vehicle, but the license plate had been removed. So if I had been situational aware, maybe because I was tired, just wasn't thinking, a young man, didn't know the evils of the world yet, and I probably would have picked up that they were removing the license plate and that they're in a rural area in the middle of nowhere. But luckily, nothing bad happened other than that. The store got robbed, but nobody was injured or harmed, you know. A lot of people teach the OODA loop when they're talking about situational awareness, and it's a good thing to teach. A lot of different instructors teach it, but it's observe, orient, decide, and act. And it's utilized, or it was developed for military firefighters, right? And fighter pilots. And so under pressure, you have to imagine you're flying and you have a split second to make a decision. And, you know, whenever we're talking about situational awareness, how do we develop it? You know, some people have it naturally. Like some children, if you notice, that they can repeat directions after going somewhere one time. You know, that's not something very common, but it is something that people have naturally. But most of us don't have it naturally, right? And that's why OODA loop is important. And basically, OODA loop is designed to help you observe something happening and basically move through the process with your reaction. Sometimes it's just a gut feeling. It's just we feel something odd and we know something's not right. In the book Gift of Fear, Gavin DeBecker, I've talked about that book quite a bit. And if you haven't read it, I definitely recommend reading it. I'll put a link below so you can purchase it. But it's a great book, and basically he goes through and talks about a lot of these women that have been attacked, and they all said that they had a gut feeling before the attack. They knew something was going on. And you know, you can start practicing to develop your situational awareness and making sure you're aware all the time and not zoning out. Especially today with social media, with having a phone with constant information being fed to us, a lot of people are addicted to their phones. They're constantly walking around, looking at their phone. They're walking in very dangerous environments. They're walking in parking garages in the middle of the night, looking at their phone, replying to somebody. Their mind's so focused on what's going on in that phone that they have no idea what's going on around them. If you've ever been in a fight before, you get the fight or flight feeling. right? And a lot of things happen to your body whenever that happens to prepare you to fight or flee. And one of those things is, and if you've been in a fight, you know what I'm talking about, is that you cannot recall anything that's going on around you. Your pupils close, you're focused completely on the person you're fighting, and this is it. There could be someone coming up and hitting you in the head, and you don't even know what's coming because you can't see. You have your blinders on. Now, if you've ever seen a trained fighter get into an attack in a street fight, that dude's very aware. Like I remember seeing a footage of a guy, he was an MMA fighter getting attacked by 3 guys, and he's attacking this one, he goes to this one, and he wins the fight, but he's trained so much that he suppresses that fight or flight response, okay? Now, the fight or flight response is not a bad thing because it does give you an adrenaline boost, it makes you stronger, makes you faster, it rushes blood to your muscles to give you strength. That's why when people do crazy feats whenever they're under the influence of adrenaline, it does take a toll on the body. If you've ever been in a fight, you know the next day you wake up and you feel like you got hit by a car, like your body hurts because of that. Another thing that you can do, and I've got a video about this where I actually get you to do this, but it's called the KEMS game. KEMS stands for Keep in Memory. And so the Boy Scouts do this. They'll lay out, a 10 or a dozen items on the table. They'll remove the handkerchief. The Boy Scouts get to look at it for 30 seconds, a minute. They cover it up, and then the Boy Scouts have to go write down what they see from memory in the placement, how it was on the table. In the Marine Corps, Scout Snipers do this too under an optic out in a field. They write down what they see out there, because not only do they shoot people, they do surveillance and target acquisition. So a lot of times they'll do surveillance and stuff like that, so they have to keep a good memory, and most of the time they'll document these things. But another thing you can do is when you meet someone and you shake their hand. You ever had this happen to you? You meet someone, you shake their hand, and they tell you your name, and you can't remember their name 30 seconds after? It happens all the time, right? Salesmen practice this tremendous, because this could be crucial for a salesman. Oh, buddy, sorry, what was your name again? Oh, I'm not buying a car from you. So salesmen practice this a lot. They're very good about being situationally aware and knowing how crucial this part of their job is. So start remembering people you meet, their name, start paying attention, be focused in that moment of where you are, you shake that hand. Remember conversations, recall conversations you had with someone, because you ever notice, like whenever someone gives a statement about something, some event that happened, the statement does not really match up with what the event was precisely. Start going throughout your day and recalling the events. The other thing is that think about, you're trying to tell someone, they're like, hey, how was your weekend? And you're like, what did I do this weekend? These are things that you need to recall. At the end of the day, recall from memory what you did throughout your day and be cognizant of it. Another good thing is if you have a buddy, you can practice this. You can read a story and then retell the story to your friend, and then you read the story again, or get your friend to tell you a story, and then you repeat the story the next day to see how much that you picked up on. A lot of this is just listening comprehension, reading comprehension, visual comprehension. A lot of people like that. They have college courses dedicated to this because it is a trait. Most people have zero attention span. Thanks to TikTok, I think the average attention span is less than a goldfish, they say, currently. But another thing you can do is just to keep you hyper aware is when you're walking, let's say to the mall, the grocery store, you pay attention to the vehicles around in the parking lot, the colors, the makes, the models, and remember what they are, where they were parked. So when you come out, recall who's gone, who's no longer there. You maybe want to look at oddities of the car. Oh, that car has damage, that car, and just repeat this to yourself. Or that car has a sticker on it, it has a coexist sticker on it, what have you. Identify, in business school, when I went to college, you talk about a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I love that. For business is great, but also just for day-to-day and survival. And all you business grads, I'm talking about strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. What strengths, what weaknesses, what opportunities, and what threats are out there. Another simple thing you can do is when you're walking let's say in a public area, you look at who has a wedding band on. Just look, glance, who's married, who's not. You can also look at groups of people and see what the relationship is. Is this mom, dad, son, daughter? Is this co-workers? Are these friends? And try to identify what the dynamic of the people that are in groups are. It's a good thing just to start getting your awareness and start living in the now. No one lives in the now. They're always focused on their phone. They're thinking about things. Oh man, I gotta, do the laundry tonight, and these sort of things. So keep focus of what's at hand. And I'm telling you, just that alone, people will key in on that, especially criminals. Criminals will key, this dude is locked in. I can't mess with him, because criminals look for opportunities, right? Most crimes are those of opportunity. They're not premeditated. They're crimes of opportunity. So they see someone where they can get a tactical advantage, they'll take it. This is a process they go through as well. That's why you need to be going through a similar process to protect yourself. Another thing is that if you look at people as you walk around and determine what they're doing that day. If they're a guy in a business suit, maybe he's a businessman. If it's a guy in coveralls with black grease on his hand, he's probably a mechanic. A lady with her hair tied back in workout clothing, probably going to the gym. If they're blue-haired, face tackle, they're wearing pajama pants, they're probably a liberal. Look at these things and see and determine what type of individual this is. Just getting and gathering information of what's at hand. I can't emphasize this enough. Do not walk around on your cell phone. Never. You should only, when you look at the threat levels, you should never be comfortable unless you're in a secure location, your home. Even in your vehicle, someone could run up with a gun. And even in your home, you need to be somewhat locked on too. You need to have a firearm ready to go, because if the bad guy kicks in the door, like we've seen a lot of times on video, are you gonna have time to react to go get that firearm, right? Oh, it's upstairs. No, you need to have it within reach, on your body, right? But always make sure you're not on your phone and your mind's in another place. If you don't get anything else from this video, that is the key. But again, most of the time, it's a gut feeling. Pay attention to your gut feelings. Pay attention to your gut feelings. You're gonna feel these things throughout the day. And the other thing you can do is in your response or your action, is go ahead and roll in your mind of what kind of action you would take if X, Y, and Z happens. If a guy runs in here with a gun, what do I do? What would I do? If there's a car wreck, what would I do? I know my medical kit's back here. It's in with reach. What if I roll my car over? I need a tourniquet. I can grab it. I can apply the tourniquet to my femoral. Maybe when I'm walking around, I'm looking for cover. Cover is something that stops rounds, okay? Stops bullets coming into you. Maybe you're looking around and always observing cover and seeing where you can be protected. This is just having plans. You're walking in a parking garage. You have everything put away. You have your concealed blade, your firearm. You know where it's at. You've practiced 1,000 times. You've got the muscle memory to deploy these items. And again, looking for cover, looking for escape routes. Oh, there's an exit there. I can get out that way. These are just critical things that you need to process throughout your day-to-day to help prepare you to be a more prepared citizen. Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to stay frosty, strapped, and always stay dangerous. Take care.